Welcome to part 6 of my box van build. In this video I build a bed and install wall studs and start figuring out where all my stuff's gonna go. So the way that I'm doing my wall studs is overly complicated and completely insane. So I'm going to show you how I'm doing it, and then we'll discuss a better way to do it that I recommend for you. So no matter what you do, if you remove the rails from inside the U-Haul, you're going to have holes in your van. And you could take the bolts that were there and just reinstall them and, just leave them that way. But my plan all along was to reuse the hardware and the wood that I took off. It's actually I think it's poplar or something. It's decent stuff. But I went ahead and insulated the whole van and didn't really think this through all the way. And I'm making it work, kind of how I had in my mind, but it's kind of a process. So there were originally 2 rails on the van, and then I drilled more holes up top and added a 3rd row. And then I drilled in from the outside through the foam. And then I'm taking the factory little cap nut things that were on there, and I'm putting a tiny little bit of urethane on it. And then I'm reinstalling them. The top one's kind of tight because I drilled just the right size hole, which is how they were probably installed to begin with, because they have these little teeth on them that bite into the wood so they don't spin. But these do spin. So for those, I take a little piece of duct tape and I took all the boards and cut them to the right height, 70.5 inches. And then I measure out my holes. So that one's at 3 inch. I picked the clean side just for fun. And then I center them, just going off of the factory hole, which is 1 3/8. And then I take a 1-inch spade bit and I drill them down enough to clear. I got 2-inch by 5/16 bolts. And I'm going to drill it down enough to clear the bolt head and the washer. I do not like this bit, by the way. And then I drill a 5/16 hole for the bolt. And then I take a hole saw, which is the size of these spacers that came from the U-Haul, and I drill out the foam. And then I install the board using these bolts that are too long. And then I trace the board out. And then I remove it. And then I knife the foam. And then here's the craziest part. I made my own homemade foam cutter with a hacksaw blade. You have to use the bendy kind. This is a Craftsman. And this is an old screwdriver that I smashed the handle off of to use as a depth guide. And then, to heat it up, need a little ventilation for this one. And a mask. It doesn't take much. You can do about 10 inches at a time before it cools down. It cleans itself off every time you reheat it. Oh no, it's breaking. Might have to make a new one. Alright, I made a new one. It's not as wide. Might have to make some adjustments. Yeah, it should be fine. You have to make sure it's not on fire before you try to cut the foam. So now, the board sits flush with the foam. And then the idea is take these, put them there where they go. All right, you put these plastic things in, set the board in there, and then I got 2" by 5/16 bolts with washers. Try to gently get it to start threading into the outside things so I don't just get them spinning right away. Oh, that one dropped way down. Get up there. There we go. So that was ridiculous, and it takes like a half hour per stud. And I wouldn't recommend you blowtorch a hacksaw blade and stick it in your van, because that's just asking for trouble. So here's what I recommend. Kind of the same concept, but before you just foam your whole van like I did, you should take 2x4s, cut them to 70.5 inches, which is what the wall is. Reuse the same holes and the outer bolts. Add a third row, and the only reason I was able to do that is because I removed the pass-through to the cab, which had a bunch of them on it. So I got some extras and the door. And then take 2x4s, go get some sill seal. It's like a 6-inch wide thin piece of foam that's made to go under walls that are on top of concrete. And put that behind your 2x4s, mount them to the walls like this. Kind of do the same thing where you countersink a bolt and a washer so it all sits flush. And then foam between the 2x4s. And that would be like way smarter than this. But I've already committed, so this is what I'm doing. It's kind of funky, but I don't know. It's unique. I'm insane. Don't call the asylum, though, please. Wall studs. The comments on this one are going to be hilarious. But it turned out how I had it in my mind, so I made it happen. This one was the prototype. It's pretty ugly. It's when I was figuring out my homemade foam cutter. And this is all I got left of the U-Haul wood. I used it all. Is that poplar or birch? I think it's one or the other. I still have to figure out something for the front here for my cabinets that I'm gonna hang. I'll probably put a board horizontally right there. And then around the door, I'm just gonna glue paneling there. My desk is gonna come out to just to the right of the entryway there. But yeah, there's not gonna be anything around the door. Maybe some hooks on the wall or something, but nothing significant. Alright, so I pulled all the wall studs back off and I put Loctite on all the bolts, the blue kind, and I put a bead of adhesive behind them, so they're there to stay. So I took a bunch of measurements of some household things before I started building this van, and a twin bed is 38 by 74. So right here I've got 75.5 and then 38 from the back wall puts me right on that second wall stud. And I didn't really plan this out very well, just like the studs. So right here is my 1.5" angle iron, and I was planning on using the bottom of this as the rear support for the plywood for my bed, which I'm still gonna do. So I'm just gonna carve a 1/2 inch out of the foam, and the plywood should be able to rest on that. And then on the sides, I'm gonna put 2x4s horizontally to that second wall stud. And then I'm just gonna kind of build off of that just as I go. I know I'm gonna have a 2x4 this way on the front, and I'll probably, because I wanted it to be where I could lift the bed up and access the storage underneath. But I think what I'm gonna do is have like a 2-piece on the plywood, so I can open just the outer, the inner portion of it and access stuff that way. And then I'll maybe put one like cross support. But I don't want to do it like vertically with the 2x4 like this, because that might mess up what I can fit under here. So it'll probably be like flat ways, which really isn't the best way to do that, but you know, it's not that big of a deal. It's a small enough bed, and I weigh 165. I'm not like gonna be bouncing on it by any means. And I don't want any vertical supports in the middle either, for the same reason. It's gonna mess up my storage area. So that's what I'm gonna start with and kind of build out the van from there. I do want to put like one large drawer under the bed, right in the middle, just for clothes and stuff. So, oh, he just went through the fence. How'd he get through there? That's nice. I need a nap. So the mattress I'm attempting to buy from Amazon, it's been back ordered for like a month. It's supposed to be like sleeping on a cloud. But it's 12 inches tall. So that should put it kind of right here. So I'll be right up at the window. I cut a 1/4 inch off the ends of this piece, and then I drilled holes in it for like, so you can grab it and go like that. I shaved the ends so it'll clear the wall like when it's done. The plywood is a little warpy. So I'm thinking of putting hinges, maybe like one long piano hinge right here or something. So then I can just kind of lift my mattress and then grab it and access underneath. And I might put some, like triangulate some boards here and there, maybe. Probably not, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Because I'm going to put stuff here on the wheels. And I'll show you that in a second. But this is coming along. I have a ton of storage space. I could put so much stuff in here now. I'm definitely going to have room for all kinds of activities. Put my generator there. Plenty of room. I think right here I'm going to put like a 12-volt air compressor. I want to get one with a, like at least 1 gallon tank on it. Then I can inflate, I'm going to get like an inflatable kayak or a raft or something. And then my bike tires, the van tires, whatever. Alright, now I'm laying out some components to see how everything's going to fit. All the big things that are going to go on the bottom. So this is my 20-gallon freshwater tank. And it is like the perfect size. It fits the wheel well like it was made for it. These are my batteries. They're two 280 amp hour LiFePO 4. They're eco-worthy. So we'll see, you know. There's this channel, it's DIY Solar with Will something. And he cuts batteries open and shows you like how they're made. Because I was considering the Power Queen, and apparently they're junk. These eco-worthies should be good. And I know, Battleborn, Victron, I get it, but I'm poor, and this van was made in China, so whatever. Here's my beast of an inverter. This thing is 3,000 watt inverter charger. It's Li time. We'll see how that performs. But here is my little Chinese diesel heater. I got the one with the aluminum housing because a lot of people say they have like a burnt plasticky smell, which I don't know if that's just the diesel exhaust people are smelling or what. But I went with the 8 kilowatt, and I went with the 15-liter tank. But look at this thing. This is like a frickin' milk jug. This is pathetic. Like, I am not going to use this. And probably not the fuel lines it comes with either, because a lot of people seem to have problems with leaks with these things. If any of you wants this, email me, because I'm just going to throw it away. My idea is to like find a good army surplus store somewhere and get a couple of good jerry cans. And I think I'm going to mount them on the driver's side in the back. One for diesel and one for gas. And then I can just, you know, when I'm fueling up, I can fill those too, and then I'll just plumb it into this. And then this diesel heater, I'm going to put it probably kind of like right there. Maybe, you know, at some sort of, however it works. But the plan is to just have it under the bed, and then I'll exhaust it straight down, kind of behind the rear axle and out. And then the vents, I'm going to have one come out here and kind of around the sides. So, Yeah, it also comes with a remote. It's like, here's the control for it, and then it also has a little remote. So I'll put the remote by the bed, as well as the remote for the Max fan. This 20-gallon water tank, it came with a pump. This is Class A Customs, also Amazon. But I'm pretty happy with the initial, what I'm seeing here anyway. So here's the pump, and I'll probably just mount this probably to the floor or something right there. I'm gonna have filters. I'm gonna have a flow meter. On this side of the van is going to be my kitchen, and on this side is going to be my desk. My whole power system is going to go here and then up this wall. So my whole power system is going to be kind of here. My desk will be here, where I'll have my laptop and everything for making videos. And then like right here up this wall, I'm going to mount plywood rather than paneling, so I can mount stuff to the wall. I have my solar controller. There's a controller for this inverter. I have a battery monitor, a bunch of switches. Under the desk, on the same plywood, I'm going to have my terminal blocks, my fuse block, my 110 or 115 shore power AC breaker panel. So it's just to the right of the bed, as low as I can make it. It's probably going to be about the level of the bed. I'm going to put my wood stove. And I know that sounds like a horrible fire hazard, but I'm going to build like a plywood partition between that and the bed. And then I'm going to, I think, like a nice cool little mosaic tile or something. But the wood stove's going to have its own little like cubby area here. And it's going to sit lower than the kitchen counter, which will be whatever the height of a standard kitchen counter is. That way, because you can cook on top of the wood stove, so I'm going to have it kind of lower, so because heat rises and I want as much vertical rise to the exhaust for the wood stove as I can get. And I'm going to have to put a 45 in it and come over this way because of my solar panels. And then my induction cooktop will be just to the right of the wood stove, so I can cook on that, I can cook on that. And then to the right of the induction cooktop will be a little bit of counter space, so I can cut stuff or whatever. And then I'll have a little sink, like a bar sink or something. Right behind the sink and the little bit of counter, I'm gonna have my window. I have I'll show you actually. Here's my other window. It's just a little tiny, it's like 15 by 22 or something. And then it's a sliding one. I wanted one that popped out like that, but I couldn't get it in this size. But little window, kind of like right there. And above that will be cabinets. I'm going to build my own cabinets. I don't know if I'll have cabinets above where the wood stove is for heat reasons, but I'll at least have some right here for putting whatever, spices and plates and crap. And then to the right of the sink, the counter and cabinet are going to terminate. And then this area here, it'll be about 24 inches wide. It's going to be a combination multi-use shower, spot for my cat's litter box, and a place for my bucket. So I'm going to have like waterproof paneling here. I'm going to build my own shower pan because they do make a 24-inch shower pan, but they're like freaking expensive. So I'll just make my own. I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to have a mirror right here. And then my bucket, I'm going to have like a little fold out like shelf to like set it right here so the cat can get underneath and stuff. And then when I use the bucket, I'll just take it out and set it on the floor or whatever. So this will be kind of the bathroom. Here's my toilet. I'm making my own toilet seat because I have one of those plastic toilet seats that goes on a bucket. And then I had a gift card to a sporting goods store, and I was like, I'm going to buy the Yeti bucket. I was like, if I'm going to crap in a bucket, I'm going to get the nicest bucket money can buy. And then I figured out that the Yeti bucket has a bigger rim to it, and my toilet seat didn't fit. And they make a toilet seat for a Yeti bucket, but it's like $50, which is ridiculous, and it's just a cheesy little white plastic thing. So I went and got this piece of wood for like $8, and I'm gonna use a router and make my own nice little toilet seat and stain it and poly it and stuff. And this will be multi-purpose. It'll be like my trash can too, you know. And then like I mentioned, over here along the whole front of the box will be cabinets. And I'm gonna put everything in there. Like my hygiene, personal care products, maybe my shoes, who knows, camping stuff, all along here. And then on this wall, cabinets, again, all the way along the top, for my clothes, my camera equipment, whatever. I'm gonna have a desk here, and I'm gonna have a laptop, and then I'm gonna have like a pretty decent sized display for my laptop, which will double as a TV. So yeah, I'm gonna have a TV in here. It's gonna go right here, kinda at the foot of the bed. Back here, I did consider maybe I'll build like a little cubby along the top. Not really a cabinet, but like a little shelf that with a lip on it, so I can stuff things up in here, maybe my socks and undies or something, clothes, you know. And then there'll definitely be a cabinet right here. I was gonna build like a little headboard thing, but there's really not enough, like the van ain't wide enough. I've got about 1.5 inches to spare on the mattress, so that's just gonna be, I'm gonna panel all of this and make it pretty, but as much cabinetry as I can fit in this thing. I've already got like way more storage than I had envisioned under this bed, so I'm really happy about that. Everything's gonna fit really nice. I'm loving this. A 10-foot U-Haul is like more than big enough for me. Yeah, 20 gallons of fresh water. I think that'd be plenty to go out for 14 days at a time. I've found that when I'm camping or road tripping, I use about 1 gallon a day just for drinking and washing my hands and cooking and whatever. Plus, that gives me a little wiggle room for like taking a shower or something. So I mean, if you don't have like a black tank and you're not flushing a toilet and crap, then I think 20 gallons is perfect for a 14-day stay. And then underneath this area, like I mentioned in the last video, I have a 15-gallon undermount gray water tank that I'm gonna put for that. So yeah, everything's gonna fit pretty good. My power system is a beast. I could definitely probably have AC. We'll see what happens. I might. If I do get AC, I'm gonna get a split unit, and the inside portion will probably go somewhere over there. I thought about up there, but I don't know. I'll figure it out as I go. While I'm at it, I'll show you my fridge. It's gonna go right here. I just set this plywood here for now just to show you, but I got the Alpacool. I think it's a 55 liter, and it has the algae compressor, which hopefully that means it'll last more than a year. If they're proud enough to put algae on it, then you'd assume. But I wanted a bigger one, but this seemed like a good buy. I actually put it in my Amazon cart and then just left it there for like 2 weeks. and I actually got an email saying that the price changed. So it went on sale. I think I paid like $270 or something for this. But my idea is I'm not going to have any passengers, so I have a passenger seat. And then if I put it here, I could like roll my shopping cart up to the passenger door at like Walmart or whatever and just load this thing. So it's a dual zone, but I'm probably going to just use the whole thing as a fridge. And then if I'm driving, I can reach over and grab snacks or beverages or whatever. So yeah, Alpacool 55 liter with the LG compressor. And I'm gonna have like a little 12 volt and 110 volt, just a couple of power outlets up here in the cab. Because I got a tablet mount for the cup holder for my Surface. And I'll just, I'll have a whole, this cab is gonna look like a frickin', like a trucker's cab. It's gonna have all kinds of cool stuff going on. I'm gonna get a CB, and there'll be all kinds of switches for off-road lights and all kinds of fun stuff. So, but yeah, here's my fridge. I know a lot of people were wondering, and I just think putting it here is just the smartest decision for me anyway. I thought about ways to put one in the back. I thought about like a dorm style, regular fridge and putting it under the kitchen counter, but there just really ain't enough room back there for that. So yeah, this made the most sense for me. And then I might, I could put something on top for my cats to chill on. I'm pretty sure Mr. Kitty Poops is going to ride up on the dash most of the time. He likes to look out the window, but... So this video might be a little shorter. I don't know really. I haven't edited it yet, but I have a ton of work I need to do to my Buick because I'm leaving Thursday and I'm going on a road trip. So by the time you watch this, I'm going to be like 700 miles that way, camping by myself in the middle of nowhere, hopefully. So yeah, I got a lot of work to do before I get out of town. And I'm coming back next Wednesday, so that only leaves me with like 2 days to work on this van and make another video. So I'm going to try my best, but we'll see what happens with that. But I am getting really excited. This is the fun part that I've been looking forward to the whole time. I am like ready to just keep working on this, but I can't right now. But in the next video, I'm building my desk, I'm building my cabinets, I'm putting it all together. Finally doing the inside. So anyway, if you're doing a box van build and you just found my channel, then check out my playlist. This is like video number 6 that I've made so far on this. And if you have any questions, I love reading the comments, or you can email me, vanlifemeow@gmail.com. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.